Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and you're back again in the Junkyard Simulator, and there's a cardboard box. That's lovely. I wonder if actually I've not really gone to the effort of sticking any cardboard boxes into recycle bins. I'm going to give it a go and see what happens. I think there's one just around the corner here, and let's have a look. That's plastic, yeah, and then waste paper. £3. That was worth it. So, since you were last here, I have unlocked a couple more bits. I've got the pawn shop open now to go and sell more valuable bits and pieces. And this conveyor belt, which I've literally just got hold of. And if you stand close to it and then unload your backpack on there, hang on, let's fire it up. Just get rolling, you. Go on, this is the conveyor belt. That's going to take all of these bits. I've got 11 already. You can see over on the right there, I've got 11 bits in there. That fan will be number 12. Right? You don't have to wait for each bit to go through. You can just, you know, lob it all in. But that will all rock up somewhere, and I think it's directing me to go over and find all of that stuff. Fairly certain it's near the crusher for all of this gubbin. So I'm gonna wander back over there and see exactly what's what. Now it should be relatively easy to follow. I think it goes through this kind of overhead belt business thing. I missed a bit. I wanted to touch on one thing, because this is not going to be I get frustrated with more bits of the game. This is more of a kind of a summary of what I've experienced in the game so far. The concept is fantastic. The idea of, you know, you've got a scrap heap at your disposal, and you know, just explore it and stick stuff away and all of that kind of business. You go, yeah, I'm into it. That all sounds great. The problem is that, firstly, you can never clear the scrap heap. It all respawns. So why even bother? The second thing is that there's a lot of reused scenery. Here is a scrap heap with which I can interact. Right. This is a scrap heap with which I cannot interact. No, but it looks the same. It's more pronounced when you're talking about cars, because you end up going, there's one, yeah, right, oh no, that's just a bit of scenery. And it's just a little on the frustrating side to not be certain what you can and can't clean up. If it were down to me, what I would choose to do is be able to clean up the entire junkyard and turn it into something special. You take an open world game, so something less than 7 Days to Die, I think is probably the best one to go for. Not least of all because, as observed in the comments a couple episodes ago, it doesn't look entirely dissimilar, but to be able to clear up absolutely everything and be transformative in what you've done. Now, maybe it is just that I am not, or I have not yet latched on. My sales area is full. Oh no. I haven't latched on to the overall purpose of the game. You know, what is it that I'm here to do? It's not clear. I'm still in tutorial land, and that's another thing that's a little bit. I would personally choose to do it differently. Let's word it that way. And that is, I'm being led through this quest. I'm still in the tutorial. I've got probably 4 hours in by now. And I'm still being led by the hand with regard to what it is that I'm doing. Instead, you could have just turned me loose, and every time I found a new piece of machinery, that's the point at which you trigger the tutorial. You know, don't teach it until I need it. Rather than teaching me everything up front. And got a flaming mouse cursor thing. They'll fix that, but it's still an annoyance at the moment. No, I'm not taking that because I haven't got any backpack space left. Why unleash it all at once? Also, why is this all unlocking? I mean, it's unlocking in the same area, but you could quite easily have gone for a bit of a base build opportunity where I order a fresh piece of kit, whether it's a crusher or the access to the scrap market or whatever it is, and then I have to place the building myself. Now, that's a more advanced game, and it means that you can't just pre-design the map. This is clearly a pre-designed map. But that would then open a far more dynamic way of playing, where you generate the landscape, you generate the grot kicking around the landscape by figuring out economically what's needed. You populate it accordingly. I don't know, but look, maybe that's a different game, and I'm not evaluating this based on what it is, but I'm evaluating it based on where's the fun, and frankly, the prospect of cleaning up and upgrading the world that exists here is significantly more interesting. If anything, it says that a survival type game of a Left 4 Dead variety, not Left 4 Dead, 7 Days to Die variety, but in an enclosed area where you're tasked with just make it lovely. And how you go about doing that is entirely up to you. Would be great, and obviously you're going to need the machines and the business and the whatnot and ho in order to make that happen. But let me decide how to do it. Can I get over there? Not being able to jump over the fence is annoying. I'm just putting it out there. Right. No, where have you gone now? Oh, flipping thing. Sorry, cursor dragged me off screen there, which is, well, it's not what I was saying. Just flaming. Please fix that as quickly as possible. It's so annoying. Anyway, we're back here again. And somewhere, right there, in fact, my conveyor belt has spat out all of this rubbish that I've been slinging in.
Remember about the items for the order.
Yeah.
They must be sent to the scrapyard market in order to complete the quest.
Yeah.
This is very important.
Yeah, well, let's hope none of them have disappeared then, huh? Just saying, just putting that out there, because that too is very important. Right, let's go. Not that I think any have disappeared, but I'm gonna absolutely stuff this crusher full of business, and then we'll see what's what. Right, let's go for you. Get in 650 quid's worth of gubbins. Lovely. Right, that's a quest item. Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, I'm not renovating any of it. Renovating smaller things is actually pretty good fun. It's not too bad because it doesn't take too long. Stripping the car apart and then having to refurbish all of the bits that were in it, that was a joyless experience. No, yeah, that's just. I think you might have experienced that by proxy, having watched me getting up to that particular caper. But hey, no, it's good. There's a lot of nice ideas in here, but it turns into a grind very quickly through this tutorial stuff. You know, what if I don't care about recycling 4 items in particular? You could have just said, go grab some stuff and stick it on the conveyor belt, so I can show you how it works. And you go, all right, oh fine. Yeah, that would have worked great. Or you could have linked the 27 grand bit that I had to do earlier on that gave me, you know, the conniptions, and said, okay, go and grab these 5 items over here, stick them on the conveyor belt, and that should generate 24 out of the 25 grand that you need to make in order to complete the quest. At which point you're left with a moderately easy way to go in order to wait. In order to complete the quest. Because the problem you've got with work simulators, and it doesn't matter whether you're talking about this or House Flipper or the lawn mowing simulator or farm sim, work simulators overall, there is a finite amount of time that you go through before you've seen all of the tricks that it has to offer you. You know, you've experienced all the different pieces of kit, all of the hardware. And at that point, it becomes down to you as to whether or not you want to persist. Now, I've mentioned before that I particularly like car mechanic sim, just for a bit of zen-like putting things back together, and that's great. And once you've done all of the leveling up necessary, it's like, why can't I stick this pallet in there or these barrels? I just want to tidy up. But I can't. It looks like an absolute flipping mess. And the scrap respawns indefinitely. Why? Why does it do that? I don't need it to do that. This is going to be a good payday, this one. There you go. Give me the things. Alright. Actually, that's less impressive than I thought it might be. What do we actually get out of that? I mean, it's not awful. The exchange rate is the important bit. Alright, so at the moment, we're getting a 57 times multiplier on whatever this is, brass. Well, we'll flog that then. A 38 multiplier on titanium, which is 4 quid's worth. Sold! 13 times. I'm doing it. I do anything that is kind of 10 times and above, and then I keep hold of the rest until it reaches 10 times and above. Now, I've got no idea whether economically that's a good plan or not. 80 times on copper. Nice. There you go. Because I'm not that desperate for cash. I mean, if I was that desperate for cash, I've only got 5 grand at the moment, but the conveyor belt cost me 40. So I've recently made an investment, which is why I'm just a little bit skint right now. Yeah, it's okay. What now? Go to the phone booth, if I must. Yeah. It's you flipping attract mode. Don't care. No, I'm on a mission, and that mission is to clean up the flaming everything. And that's it switching back off again. That's what that noise is. Just yeah. As soon as you falsely identify cause and effect on that front, you tie yourself up in knots, go, well, it must be here somewhere. And it isn't, because that's just not how it works. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah, being able to tidy the place up would be great, but if it's all respawning all the time, and I guess it has to respawn in order to continually give you things to do. But yeah, a procedural junkyard that you're then responsible, or maybe the goal is how much money can you turn around from the junkyard, and yeah, there's all kinds of opportunities going on in there, and if you did each procedurally generated junkyard as a what's the word I'm after? Seeded, so that you could play it again. You stick a seed in, so you can redo it. Answer the phone. They always want you to answer the phone. All right. I want to clean this phone box. I've got all the cleaning tools in there. Yeah. All right. What?
JJ, as part of this job, you're going to buy your first container.
Not with 5 grand. I'm not.
Before that happens, find a couple items for me.
Yeah.
As
okay.
Per usual, check your Junkman interface for guidelines.
You're a Junkman interface.
I'll get in touch when we get to buying the container.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, so I've got to go and buy a container. I'm not entirely sure why I'm buying a container, but that's what we're doing next. 1 of 9 on this particular quest path. Yeah, it's all fair enough. All right, so we'll get past the idea of a procedurally generated, see how well you can do, because then you could do timing challenges for clearances and all of that kind of. Get past it. That's not what it is. Evaluate what is and not what might be. Yeah, I'll take you. 153 quid. That's not too bad. Thank you. 43 quid. I don't care about this painting stuff. I don't even understand what it is. Does that mean you want me to paint it? Don't really know. Don't really care. All right, fine. Yeah. And that's what's left me feeling hollow. Yeah, I mean, notwithstanding that the way in which you're told what to do is not perhaps as clear as it could be. This is an interesting area that I've not had yet. This is a ruddy, great, massive crushing thing, and from the looks of it, that's going to pick up the container that I'm going to load with stuff, and then empty it all in there at once and crush it and give me cheese. That's fine. That's good. I like that. But I also don't really see how that's any different to the systems that I've got already. It's not like I'm coming across stuff unless that's the... No, we definitely don't want that. Go away. No, you just... just put it down. Thank you. Yep. Mouse cursor. Yeah. I tell you, I've come across some persistent bugs in games in my time, and this one, for as much as it's not a game-ending bug, it is one of the most frustrating things I've encountered. If you haven't seen it for yourself, or you haven't experienced it for yourself, what happens is you'll click, but it won't actually be clicking in the game. It will be clicking on your desktop instead. So, step one, make sure you've got everything on your desktop closed down. And then you'll kind of go, but it's not moving the cursor anymore. At which point, you then have to right-click to regain control of the cursor. But, of course, you don't think like that when you're playing a game. Instead, you're clicking onto the next thing that you need to do. Or if you're trying to throw it, or you're trying to drop it, or what have you. It's very odd. And it doesn't scale to 4K. It says it scales to 4K, but the cursor doesn't. Which means that when you do regain control of the cursor, it's in a completely different place. Now, obviously, Mr. 4K, it's a nice problem to have. I mean, this is actually at 1440, as much as the video's at 1920. God, I never wanted to be anything technical. Locate tank engine. I've destroyed like 5 of them. But, yeah, okay, I'll locate the tank engine because it's a very specific one. Gosh, how did we know it was here? Put it in the backpack. Locate the washing machine. Backpack's full. Okay. All right, start throwing out this stuff. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Handcart, friend. Handcart. Why can't I drag it? If it was draggable, it would actually be moderately easy to use. But it's not draggable, and therefore it is a nightmare to use. Oh, yeah, you've got to ask yourself at each twist and turn, is this fun? Because people are only going to stick around for as long as they're having any fun. And bizarrely, because I come to this after playing Gas Station Simulator, right? Now, Gas Station Simulator is extraordinarily repetitive. I mean, massively repetitive. And I've given it a break for now, because I'm waiting for them to add a few more bits and pieces in there. But Gas Station Simulator's fun. And it feels like you're making progress because you are actually tarting the place up as you go. And also, these missions can do one. Go and find 5 random bits. Oh, incidentally, we've trapped you in a place with things you can't go through. Yeah, all right, okay. Yeah, I'm having a great time. And it just serves to elongate the game. This is what I was saying before, is there comes a point where your player has seen everything you've got to offer. Right? They've gone, right, I've seen the crusher, I've seen the this, I've seen that, I've seen the other. There are no more tricks up your sleeve in terms of items that may delight and amuse. Locate electrical box. Is it here? I don't give a monkeys that I've unlocked a challenge. I'm not going to do it because I care not. I tried a challenge earlier on, failed it because I didn't know what I was doing. It was using a piece of kit that I hadn't been introduced to. Yeah, that's all right. I'm over it. Is the game over it though? I don't know. What was I saying? Yeah, you've seen everything that the game has to throw at you, and therefore, from that point on, it becomes okay. Now I was literally just here. You could have given me to that at that point, you know. It's all right. I'm over it. You're not though, are you? No, not really. At which point it's down to the player to decide whether or not, mouse cursor, they want to persist, whether they want to see any more.
Go to the scrap market and sell them. You need a cash register to buy a container.
Okay. So you dragged me all the way out here. Yeah. No. In order to pick up 4 very specific pieces of scrap, presumably because of the dollar value associated with them. They were all quite reasonably priced, so that I could buy a container. Let me tell you for nothing, what would be better is if you had sent me to the place where I can buy a container, and or just added purchase container to my standard interface whatnot. No, this isn't it. Look, I don't object, actually. Of the things I don't object to, one of them is that the little pointy cursor thing on the map only gives you the direction. It gives you north towards your objective. Don't mind that. That I occasionally walk into a dead end is fine. the bit that annoys a little bit is that the junk sections of the map are belittered with dead ends all over the place, and it's no fun. Felix recommends buying a container. Well, I'm at number 6 of 9. We shall pursue this and see where it leads us, because it may lead to somewhere interesting. I don't know. So yeah, once you've seen everything that the game has to offer, you're then deciding, okay, do I want to do any more of this or not? And with Car Mechanic Sim, the process of putting cars back together is very nice. That you can go drive them is all important. Late game stuff, and I've never really got to late game in Car Mechanic. I've played plenty, but late game is all about, you know, tuning cars up to the maximum possible magnificence, and that's cool. Never got there because it doesn't really bother me. I do it just for the sake of you know, some idle busy work.
Buying a container may bring you a lot of luck.
Doubt that.
You can draw really valuable stuff from it.
Okay.
Anything from gold coins to gold bars, or even a car blueprint.
All right, okay.
That's why it's a good idea to collect the cash and invest it in the purchase of containers.
It's a lucky dip box. It better not be. I'm thinking shipping container here. Okay, locate container. Well, I'm betting it's not close. No, it's another quarter of a kilometre. Shut it. Yeah, and the same goes for House Flipper as well. So with House Flipper, I'm very happy just decorating a house how I like to, you know, the colour scheme and with the furniture and what have you, that just feels like good fun. And then you flog it and you buy another one. Although the biggest problem I have with House Flipper is my reluctance to sell the houses after I've tidied them up and flipped them. And yeah, I just kind of go, nah, I think I'll keep this one. And you kind of go, well, you've got 4 already. What are you playing at? You do need some money in order to invest in the next one. I go, it's all right. I'm over it. I'm good. It's all fine. Where am I going? I'm going to go and buy a container. From where? From 35 metres away. Oh, it's up the top of the hill. Yeah. Or is it from here? No, it's still another 19 metres. Okay. Oh, hold on. There was something. Right. This looks like a container. All right, yeah, container door. Empty container, buy it. Press E. Press E. 17 large. Hang on, I'll see what I've got. Excuse me. I don't mind stuff clipping through stuff. That's okay. 143 times multiplier. Bonanza. I'm not going to have the cash for this. No, I need 17k. To buy a loot box. Now, I suspect it's a recurring loot. Oh, no, I bet it's not. I bet it's not a loot box at all. I don't know. I bet it's not a... I bet you don't own the container afterwards. I think you get a random something. Oh, cheeky. And I've got to do that in order to get to the next area. It's an actual loot box to keep you busy. But that's fab, that is. Okay, groovy. Well, you know what? I'm going to pursue that on my own time because I don't doubt that it's going to be massively underwhelming. The conveyor belt I like. That's kind of cool. But I would far sooner be able to put conveyor belts wherever I wanted, having either grabbed the pieces or bought the stuff in order to do so. That would be fine. That would be quite satisfying. But yeah, I'd rather have proper ownership of it rather than something where everything respawns. The landscape and the way it's all put together is fantastic. It's a fantastic bit of setting. There's some really quite funky game design aspects. Oh, hold on. I've got 24 grand's worth of these gold caskets. Oh, that's the other thing. You may ask, well, how did you manage to get 3 of those? They kind of go, well, they just kept respawning in the same place. And so I'd come back and, oh, there's another one. And then I'd come back 20 minutes later and, oh, there's another one. Fast travel. Now, I want the pawn shop. Is that walkable from here? Grandmother's pawn shop. It is if you've got a car. I can't remember where I've left any of my cars. Yeah, that would also be nice. Some kind of... Where's my car? Although, I quite like that I've lost them. I've got 3 of them. Do I know where any of them are? No, not even slightly. Take me to the pawn shop so I can pawn some stuff. So what we need here is some form. I unlocked this. I did the mission. I've done the mission to unlock this. You better flip and comply. No, so it looks all right. Yeah, 2, 1, because all of the stuff just pinged back up. They're $8.5 grand to go. Give me them back again. I want you. Right, stick it in the bag. Right, cursed de-linked again. And this one, yeah. So it feels like a too long didn't listen item is needed. I unlocked this. No. I did all of the faff with Madam who wanted a whatnot and so forth. She wanted a bottle of wine and a chair, and I did just that. Why can I not now access the chuffing pawn shop? I've got to speak to sell. Talk to the old lady. I dealt with the old flipping lady. Don't lock me out from this. Ah, no. She's got a little trophy thing on the side there. I could flog that to her. I could steal it and then flog it. All right, are you in? All right. Too long, didn't read. I'll keep poking around just to see if she's in the area somewhere. I doubt very much she is. I think that's just not. It's not doing what I want it to. Number one. If this is all junk, if I am allowed to go grab this piece of scrap, I should also be allowed to grab this piece of scrap. Unless I'm looking for very specific bits, don't use bits of scenery that could be confused for the stuff I'm actually looking for. That's number one. Right? Number two, let me clean up the whole area. Look at this. There are some barrels that are labelled for renovation. Here are some barrels that are not labelled for anything. Let me clean up. That's number one. Secondly, let me clean up. Right? I feel like I just mentioned this. However, no, that's in there now, and it's not going to let me have it. Yeah, no, you've given that away for nothing. You can't take it back again. But that's unfair. I don't care that it's unfair. Tough. No, not tough. Oh, what a rip-off. Yeah, number two, yeah, let me clean up. Stuff respawning is not cleaning the place up. This is just junkyard without end. Even Wally had a potential opportunity to finish the mission. You know, it wasn't more junk just kept coming out of thin air, although they did keep just dunk. No, it wasn't. The planet had been abandoned. Remember the movie? Yeah, okay, valid. That's number two. And that's really about it. Yeah. Let me get a sense of I have cleared this area. Wall-E simulator. That would be fun. No, number three. The tutorial. Don't force me through hour upon hour of tutorial where an awful lot of it is spent traipsing from one place to the next to go and find 3 bits before having to traipse back in another direction. That's not gameplay. I'm not here for a scavenger quest. I'm here to work a junkyard. What even is this place? And why are there no cars in it that I can drive? Yeah, only give me the tutorial when I want to use the thing. The world is nice and big and ready to explore. Let me discover stuff through the process of exploration. Don't shoehorn me down, you know, endless traipsing. Just because that's no fun. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, I'm still supposed to be buying. I tell you what, go down in the crusher. No. You know what you need. I want the. Wait, where up? Hold on. I'm gonna head back to the. Not that one. The small crusher. Yes. As mentioned, instead, give me the opportunity to play at my own pace, and then I decide at what point new machinery turns up, or let me spend the money that I'm making on buying new machinery and deploying that around home base. That way, I dictate the pace of the game. You can give me the tutorials when the need arises. overall, there's some nice ideas in here. There's some really nice ideas. I like the map. The world is really nicely set out. There's plenty of things to commend about it, but it just feels more fruitless than any other work simulator. There just feels like no purpose to it. In House Flipper, you build a nice house and then sell it. In Car Mechanic Sim, you build a nice car and then sell it. In Farm Sim, you farm a bunch of stuff and then sell it and buy more kit in order to farm the next stuff. And maybe you transform the state of your land. You know, there is a purpose to the work that you're putting in. This just feels like work for the sake of it, which is a bit odd. And that's the same problem that I have with things like power washing sim, grass cutting sim, is all you're doing is cutting the lawn in order to make your number go up so you can cut the next lawn. You know, it just feels a little bit hollow. The mechanics can be well put together, but at the end of the day, you've mowed some virtual lawn. It's a weird one to categorise, but some of these fall into fun because there is a sense of progress, and others, for as well as they might be put together, just feel like you're just using up my time. And that is where I believe this one sits. Okay, right, I'm going to go and unlock the container, because you all want to know, actually, is there anything good in there or not? So I'm going to crush these two up, and then we'll do that. So give me a tick, and I'll get that done. Right, I renovated a couple of bits, I've sold a bunch of scrap, I chucked a couple of cars into the crusher. What have you got for this? Had better be worth it. It was only 10 grand, but it said it was 17 beforehand. Okay. What do you got for me? A TV stand, yeah, an old chair, a thing. Oh, this is okay. This is a junk bin finder. Wooden desk. There's a lot of rubbish in here. Nothing appears to be of massive value, but I do know that renovating a wooden shelf, for example, now that's scrap. You can't renovate it, and it's just rubbish, then, isn't it? Yeah, it's just this is all just rubbish. That's a renovator. So that 11 quid to pick it up. That will go for 600-700 after you've given it a wash and brush up. But I'm not seeing the item that is going to give me, you know, just stick that in my bag, and this, and that, and oh hello, what are you? 6.5 grand from the pawn shop. Right, well that's 65% of my money recouped. Right there. What's this? And why have I not found it before? Did I just summon it or what? Place the vehicle here. You can place your vehicle. Why do you teach me that? Yeah, all right. Don't bother. Are you telling me that as soon as I leave, this bin is going to disappear? Because that wouldn't be ideal. No. Now I can only carry 4 different items. What does it say if I try and move? Return to the container and retrieve valuable items. It will close when you move too far away, and then I will lose everything. Well, that's a colossal waste of money. Right, yeah, no, you press R and you get your van turn up. Place it right there. Okay. Now, can I stay in? I know I'm moving quite far, but all I want really is to be able. Do not close my bin. If I do that, no, you've got to get within range. You've got to get the tailgate in the right place. Pro tip: bring your truck down here before you start looting. Gotcha. Right, that's scrap. Chest of drawers. Yeah. We'll renovate, or we would renovate that, were it not for the case that I can't get it in a backpack. That's helpful. Maybe if you just take everything out of the of the doodah, that would be helpful. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. This is Junk Mechanic. No, it's Junkyard Simulator. And what's my verdict? I done an old shield for £4.5 grand. Well, there you go. That's my full recoup, except the pawn shop's broken. But I can go and stick that somewhere safe for later use. Now, let's just get everything out of here, and then we'll stick it in the back of the truck. This is silly. Yeah. Okay. What you should have, rather than auto resetting, is the option to reset it manually. So when I want to buy a new one, you press a button, it closes the doors. You press a button, it opens them again. I don't approve of the mechanic overall, but you know, let's give me the control over it. Don't just shut it off because you feel like it. Plus, all this stuff disappears unless I do something with it anyway. There you go. Right, I said I don't do verdicts very often, but I have done this time. It's a verdict. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Cheerio.